In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to create a futures option Strangle bot. So if you've been trading Strangles on futures and you like it, but it takes a lot of time to manage and you hate how one loss can wipe out months of profits, this is the video for you. I'm going to show you exactly how to turn your strategy into a bot that will be managed for you so that your trades are always being protected, while also keep making you money from day to day. So let's dive into it. Let me make my face smaller here. And let's get to the good stuff. What exactly is a strangle? For those who don't know, a strangle is when you're playing both sides of the market. You sell a put down here, so you sell a put, and then you also sell a call. This means that as long as the market stays between these two levels, you make money. This is one of the best strategies around, specifically when the market is not trending as strong in either direction. This can have about a 90% win rate when managed correctly, and it's just a great trade overall. Now, best practices around structuring this trade is typically doing it further out. So about a 90 to 120 DTE trade on this. That's what's best for it. Also, you're looking to trade where you go to about a 25 to 50% profit and you close the trade. This is what bumps you up to about that 90% range. And then we can also cap our losses so we don't have one huge loss around 300%. Again, you can even do less than that, like 200%. But the smaller your stop loss, the lower your win rate will be as well. Anyways, this type of setup right here will give you about a 90% win rate. This is one of my favorite strategies around. It's helped a lot of my members actually make money as well. But let me show you how to take these rules and turn into a bot that works with your broker to automate it. So we're going to use a tool called the Options Auto Trader. It's the easiest way to automate any option selling strategy, and it's the only platform that automates futures options trades. So again, I'm going to click on Create Auto Trader and Create Auto Trader. This is then showing me all the strategies that I can use. Right here, we can see Strangles. So I'm going to click on Strangles. This is a Strangle. And then I'm going to pick the symbol I want, which obviously I'm going to scroll up and go to the futures options section. I can do things like crude oil, ES, gold, hogs, NASDAQ, natural gas, Russell, things like that. Again, ES is a very popular one when you're doing futures options because it's very liquid. If you have a smaller account, you can do MES, but it will be a little less liquid. Anyways, we're going to pick a futures options symbol so that we can do this. Next, we're going to pick our days until expiration. Like I mentioned, best practice is between 90 to 120 days out in the future. So for this example, I'm going to go 120 days out just to give me more credit and less risk. And then right here, we're going to structure it. So right here, selling one means that we're selling the put or selling the calls. This is a put at 10 delta. Now, most people do the same on each side. If they're going to sell a 10 delta put, they're going to sell a 10 delta call. I personally like my call to be at a lower delta to give me more upside room because in general, the market moves higher and I want to account for that. So I like to make my calls at 5 delta and my puts at 10 delta, and this gives me a great return. So this is one of my favorite strategies. So going back into this, I'm going to click Save and Continue. Now that I've picked the strategy I want to use, I need to say how often I want this bot to enter that trade. And so just for keeping it super simple, I'll do it once a week on Wednesday since that's the middle of the week. No particular reason for that. And then again, I can enter during the morning session. Again, there are a lot more settings that I can do if I want to enter based on an indicator, based on a trend line, based on if it's a red day, because obviously entering on red days will give you a higher win rate and profit. But anyways, I'm just going to keep it simple. That's how I want to enter once a week on Wednesday. Moving forward, now that I've set the trade, now that I've set when I want to enter, I need to set how I want the trades to be managed once they're open. So I like to do a 25% take profit. I like to close my trades sooner so I have less trades open, aka less risk on my plate or for my account. Next, I'm going to do a stop loss 300%. That's why I know that, hey, I'm going to get out at this time. And the great news is this bot is trading a futures options. And futures options trade basically 24/5, which means that they trade overnight as well. So if the market starts to crash or something starts to happen, it will get me out of my trades overnight so that I don't have a huge loss when I wake up in the morning. So that's an awesome bonus. Next, I'm going to tell the bot how it's going to protect me. So we do this in a few different ways. Number one, we tell the bot how much money it's allowed to use. So again, we can say things like, I want the bot to use no more than $10,000. This means that, hey, this bot across all the open trades it's tracking cannot do more than $10,000. This way it prevents over trading, prevents over risk, and prevents margin calls. And so that's what's awesome about it. But there's also two very important things when it comes to option selling. If you've been selling options for any amount of time, you know this is true. If VIX spikes, you can have a huge loss as an option seller. And so that's very annoying, very troublesome. I've woken up to as much as a $30,000 loss because of VIX. And there's an easy way to fix that. And that is to adjust your trade sizing based on where VIX is. If VIX is lower, we have more risk, so we'll be in less trades. When VIX is higher, we can have higher win rates, better trades, so we'll be in more trades. And so if I enable this, it will change the buying power I'm using based on where VIX is. If VIX is high, I get to use the whole 10,000. If VIX is lower, I'll use 50% of it or 5,000. That way I'm adjusting my trade sizing based on VIX, so I'm controlling my risk a lot better. But also, in addition to volatility risk, there's also things like market crash risk. Number one, the biggest thing that we're able to prevent is that the market tends to start crashing overnight. But since we're using futures options, our bot will get us out overnight before the crash gets bad so that we can close our positions, make our losses small before we wake up in the morning and see a huge loss like I did that one time because I was asleep. I wasn't able to manage the trade. And so that bot does that already. But when we enable this market crash safeguard, it uses math to determine, is the market likely to have a crash? And if so, it'll slowly pull us out of our positions, which helps us a lot. And so it does this by doing something called a Bollinger Band with a 200-day, that's the moving average. And when it hits the red line, the market tends to pull back. You see here, hit red line, pull back, hit the top red line, pull back, hit the top red line, pull back. Different areas like this, it pulls back. When that happens, that is then triggered in our system and we'll slowly start pulling you out of trades because you can close your profits, take your winners, take small losses instead of the market pulling back hard, leading to thousands or if not tens of thousands of dollars in losses. And so by enabling this, that does that for us. So just like that, not only do we now have a bot that's going to enter the trades for us, manage it for us without our emotions getting involved, but we're also going to protect from a lot of things that we couldn't help protect ourselves from because we're just not robots, right? We're human. And so that's how you create a bot. You authorize the bot, you set it live. I'm going to make sure this bot is turned off here. I don't want it to run right now on my account. But anyways, just like that, I have a futures option Strangle bot that's going to enter based on my rules. I can change it. I can update it however I want. I can view the trades, the history, see exactly what the bot is doing anytime. And it's all in my control connected to my broker. So that's how simple and awesome it is. If you're wondering what brokers are supported, you can do things like Tasty Trade, Charles Schwab and Thinkorswim, Tradier, TradeStation, and of course, we support paper trading. So if you want to start your 30-day trial to the Options Auto Trader and start automating your own strategy, click the link down below and get started. See you on the inside.